Hi and welcome to my channel. So there are massive changes currently ongoing in the UK regarding the health and care worker visa as well as a skilled worker visa. But guess what? The student visa has not been left out because the UK immigration minister has just announced that he wants an urgent review of student visas in the UK. And so in today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you what this review is about, what you should do if you're on a student visa at the moment in the UK, but most importantly, if you're planning to come to this country on a student visa, what should you do? So if you're new to my channel, you're obviously welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, as usual, I absolutely appreciate your time. My objective is to make sure that you are aware of the best opportunities to move to the UK without spending thousands of pounds, without spending lots of money, getting in debt, but most importantly, that you are aware of the best opportunities once you're already in the UK. So if you haven't joined this family, take this opportunity to hit the subscribe button below so that you're the first person to be notified every single day when I drop a new video on here at 10 a.m. prompt UK time. So what is really happening? Look, we all know that moving to the UK on a student visa is kind of the most straightforward pathway that you can use. But guess what? It is 100% the most expensive way to get to the UK, which means that if you're somebody who has money and you can afford it, it is a perfect, smooth pathway for you to move. But if you're somebody who is broke, then guess what? This is not going to work for you because it is pretty expensive, but it is really worth it. So if you, by the way, need to contact me directly and personally, check the comment section below. You're going to see my contact details. There's my WhatsApp number as well as my email address, so that if you need that one-to-one tailored, individualized and personalized guidance with free visa sponsorship job opportunities in the UK, you're looking for NHS jobs, clinical, non-clinical healthcare jobs, whether you've got experience in healthcare or not, there are opportunities for everybody in the NHS. And the best thing is you can't move with your dependents because they are exempted from the new rules. And that's why I've spent time on this channel singing and saying you need to apply for these jobs, but guess what? You must at this point in time. It's no longer you should, it is you must. So check the comment section below and get in contact with me. You will also see my newsletter on there. It's completely free to join. You drop your name and email and you're part of that newsletter so that I send information such as this directly to your amazing inbox, and you're not reliant on the YouTube algorithm for such vital information that is crucial for your personal and professional development. So again, what is going on regarding these student visas? The first thing that I'll talk about, actually, if I get into the latest information about student visas, is the fact that if you're in the UK on a student visa, there are lots of changes. When it comes to the carer visa, what is happening? If you switch from a student visa to a carer visa, what is going to happen? Very, very important detail. And the reason why this is important is because of the numbers. And by the way, leave a comment in the comment section below and say, Melvis, I will implement this, because this information that I'm giving you now is going to be life-saving information if you're a student in the UK or planning to come to this country on a student visa, because you need to know what to do. You need to have a perfect master plan. Otherwise, it's going to be a massive, massive struggle in this country. So the first thing is, let's look at the numbers. So the UK obviously has so many international students. I mean, the number of international students has tripled in the last 3 years. And this was because of the introduction of the post-study visa. This is something that was abolished in 2010. And when you look at the data, you'll see that just after 2010, about 100,000, 150,000 to maximum 200,000 students were coming to the UK every year following that, ban. But once it was reintroduced, in 2021, guess what? The numbers are now 3x the original numbers, which means we're having about 600 to 700,000 international students in the UK every single year. And this has prompted the government to be very concerned, obviously. And what they've said is, we're very concerned about the high number of students coming to the UK, but more so the dependence that they are bringing. Because if you get one student, you get a one student visa, that student is going to bring 3x the number of people. And so you end up with 4 people, even though you originally only gave out one visa. And so, as you know, net migration is a thing that they're trying to bring down. And this links us beautifully to the carer jobs. So how do the two things link up together? The reality about the fact is that The Office for National Statistics recently released data about student visas in the UK for 2022 and 2023. And what they said is, of all these 700 international students studying in the UK, only less than 1% of these students actually get a job in the thing that they have studied in the UK. It's very astonishing. Less than 1% of international students in the UK get a job for the course that they've studied. And by the way, if you're watching this and it's our first time meeting, I work as an advanced nurse practitioner for the National Health Service here in England, and I'm very passionate about career progression. I've got a private career coaching program. I've dropped a link in the description box below where I offer one-to-one tailored, individualized and personalized guidance with all these opportunities that I've spoken about. I mean, I started as a carer myself, so I've gone through that process, being an international student, paying tuition fees for my nursing course, to then progressing in this country to the most senior clinical nursing position. So I understand all of these processes inside out. So if you need one-to-one support to transition to getting a job for the NHS so you can remain in this country with your family, because we know the advantages that come with getting permanent residency in the UK. And so you need to make the sacrifices that are necessary to ensure that you get that visa sponsorship to remain here. There's nothing worse than when you've packed everything from home, you've sacrificed all of your life, all your earnings to move to the UK, and then you need to pack back home. It is a terrible thing. I know many people that are in this situation, and they're very traumatized. They're very, very depressed. And it's like, oh my goodness, how do I get started again? So don't let this happen. And that's why you need to start applying for jobs as quickly as possible if you are on a student visa in the UK. So that's what my program is about, giving you that one-to-one tailored guidance to make sure that you land your dream job in the UK in order to remain here with your family. So leave a comment in the comment section below. What is your main objective right now? What are you working towards? Are you studying in the UK? What course are you studying? Are you planning to study in the UK? Because I'm a huge advocate for only studying those courses that guarantee 100% employability. And if you want to know what those courses are, obviously leave a comment in the comment section. I'm more than happy to share a video on here if people are interested. What are the courses that you study in the UK and you are 100% guaranteed a job with visa sponsorship? I mean, why would you pay 15,000, 17,000, 20,000 pounds to study in a country and you know that you're not going to get a job? I mean, I don't get what this is about. So if you're watching my videos, yes, you are aware that most of these courses, you should not even consider them. So again, that's what that program is all about. And then what should you do? The government has therefore announced that there needs to be an urgent review of the post-study visa. So that's the graduate visa that students can apply for in the UK, and they have 2 years to work in this country upon successful completion of their course or their studies. This is something that has been a lifesaver for people that are in the UK on a student visa, because previously you only had 3 months. Like me, when I studied as an international student, I only had 3 months to be able to find a job in the UK. But I was very lucky that as an international student, I was studying nursing. And so I got my nursing job 1 year before I was completing my course. So I was chilled. I knew that the job was guaranteed. And I had visa sponsorship offers left, right, and center. Because as we know, nursing is a job that is highly needed. And so if you're watching this and you're considering a course, look, nursing is a top. I'll share lots of videos on here on apprenticeships where you get paid indeed to study in the UK. I mean, people are paying ridiculous amounts for tuition fees, but guess what? You can apply to study nursing in the UK and they'll pay you £25,000 per year to study. That is crazy, isn't it? But that's the reality. And I've supported lots of people to apply for this opportunity. I've done 2 apprenticeships myself. And this is just information that when you know, it is career changing. So if you can afford to pay those fees, of course, you're welcome to pay. But if you're like me and you've heard this information and you want to make the most of the best opportunities, this is what you should consider. So the Migration Advisory Committee is going to urgently review the graduate visa or the post-study visa in the UK. And what they have recommended is option 1, to scrap this visa completely, which means we'll go back to what we used to have after 2010, where once you finish your studies, the only option you've got is to apply for, say, a PhD or a master's, or leave the UK or get a work visa. There was no in between like there is now. So if option 1 is to scrap it completely, I really do hope that this option isn't implemented, because it's going to be disastrous. And option 2 is to reduce it from 2 years to 6 months, so that the duration is going to be reduced. Again, this is a terrible option, but I think it is the best outcome of the two. So it's like you're choosing the best of two evils kind of thing. Sorry to say that, but that's what this is about. So if the worst comes to the worst, I'm hoping that they will reduce it to 6 months rather than scrap it completely. But the ideal scenario is to maintain the 2 years. So if you're watching this right now and you're on a student visa in the UK, make hay while the sun shines. You need to start applying. If you've not started applying for visa sponsorship jobs, you need to start applying today. I don't mean now, I mean today, as in immediately. I've shared lots of videos on here about various opportunities you can apply for. I'm going to recommend that if you're looking, NHS is the best option for you because they've got clinical jobs, non-clinical jobs, and these offer sponsorship, and you can remain with your dependents in the UK. Many of these jobs are also exempted from paying the healthcare surcharge because if you're in the UK at the moment or out, the healthcare surcharge is now £1,035 per person per year. That is a very ridiculously high amount of money. And even if some people get visa sponsorship, they may not be able to afford to pay this. And so many of these jobs that I'm talking about are exempted. So you're going to get visa sponsorship. You're going to be able to stay with your family. You're going to have career progression opportunities in the UK. And guess what? You will pay very little fees. And that's why I go on about these opportunities. And so, yes, that's what you should do. So what do you think about all of this? Do share this, by the way, with your friends, loved ones, colleagues, so that they're aware of this. And just one thing, actually, before I forget, if you're on a student visa, and you switch to a carer visa, what is going to happen to you in the UK? Guess what? If you've got dependents, you will not be able to bring your dependents to the UK if you're already in the UK and you switch from a student visa to a health and care worker visa, which means a carer visa with occupation code 6145 or 6146. You will not be able to bring your dependents to the UK, which means that even though most of the students in the UK that get visa sponsorship jobs are getting carer jobs, but now the dynamics are going to be different because if you get a carer job and you've got dependents, who are not in the UK, you won't be able to bring them, even though you're already in the UK on a student visa. So you need to be very, very careful, very strategic with your planning, and make sure that you're checking out the videos that I've shared on here about different NHS jobs, clinical, non-clinical. Hit subscribe below so that you're notified every day when I drop a new video on here. But most importantly, message me, call me, check the comment section. You see my details there if you need that one-to-one support. My one-to-one program is not for everybody. It's only for the top 1% that, like me, are interested in personal and professional development. So if you're one of those people, then yes, you can consider to join. Otherwise, keep watching YouTube video after video after video. I'll see you in this video here.